Hey guys, okay, today is July 11th. It is Wednesday, and I did a video, I think it was yesterday or the day before, regarding the process I've had with some emotional stress and how it affected me physically. And I calculated the months. So I had this stress built up in about a 22 to 23 month period. Uh, Real quick for guys who are just getting on, the previous videos, the first one I start with, and then the second one, and this is the third one. So if you want to understand what I'm talking about, if this captures you and you're interested, go back on those videos, watch them. I'm not going to recap everything because I talked 20 minutes on the last time, and I know some guys don't get interested, if it's not something that captivates them. But my body took a really, really hard toll. And I showed a couple pictures of me in the first video of these emotional and physical stress awareness, I think is what I called it. And it really, when I saw the picture, it depressed me. In fact, I almost cried because I had not realized. I knew I had put on weight, but I really had not realized how bad I actually looked, and how that situation that put me into this emotional, almost like depression. It was or it could have been exhaustion, because I just didn't have the energy to do anything that I love doing: riding my horse, painting. I have plenty to paint. I've got 2 gallons of paint sitting in my master bedroom that's been there for 2 months. Thought I was on gun ho past all that, and thought I was going to bust out and do that bedroom, and still haven't done it. So a long haul, about an 8-month period of chronically being the shoulders and the strong person for my stepdad, and having a gray cloud over him, and not only that, but having a very serious medical issue, uh, brought me into having to take the next year and really I called it debunk, but it's just to unload everything. Toxins get into you, not just into your stomach. Toxins get into your skin. They affect the way you think. They affect the way you act. They affect the way you react. They affect you physically. And so I showed 2 pictures of me taken just on 4th of July, and I'm hunched over. I look like a slob, and I am not usually hunched over like that. And I knew I got big, but I had not realized. And my weight's kind of shifted because my estradiol levels have been higher than normal, and so everything just clung to my gut and my butt, basically. And you can see it in the picture. So go back 2 videos from now and look at the picture at the end, if that's all you care about, and you'll understand why I'm doing 3 videos. I really want to get this out there, that you guys are not alone. I know I'm not alone. In fact, one of my good buddies, Sir Caleb, reminded me, that this can take a big toll, and not to be so hard on yourself. And honestly, I beat myself to a pole because, and I'm sorry, my mouth is dry, because I'm not normally set back in that manner. I mean, I've been depressed, and I'm injured, and I worked through those just by busting out and doing it. But this time it really took a toll on me. It really flattened me, honestly, emotionally. I just haven't been able to do it. It's not that I don't care about my projects. It's not that I don't want to ride my horse. I really just haven't had the energy to do it. So I'm going to finish this section about, or this video about how how I am pulling myself out of that, how I'm channeling the toxicity and filtering it and getting it out of me, how I'm changing the way I think of things, the way I look at things, and get me back onto that road. Now, I'll tell you, 23 months it's taken me to this point. So I'm not even looking at a short term uh, resolving the issue here. I'm looking at another year, 2 years to really get myself back going and stuff. So I'm not going to shortchange myself on this situation. It's something that is very how do I don't even know how to say it. I have to be gentle. You have to be gentle to yourself. We are, every one of us are structured in a way that fits our personalities and the bodies in which is made for our journey. And I truly believe that. What happens is we as humans, we mess each other up. Just like we mess the environment up, just like we're toxic to each other. And so when it's indirectly, it's even worse because you get hit with it and don't even realize it, honestly. So I talked about being a sugarholic, and I talked about how comfort food, I want to say, it sounded kind of blunt when I said, comfort food is comfort food, but it's not really comfort food. Of course it is. And I didn't mean it in that manner. When a person has been beaten, not physically, just emotionally, mentally, and they don't know how to pull themselves out of it. They don't have the tools. They don't have the support. They don't have the education. Uh, they're really smitten for a long period of time, and sometimes their whole life. And eating makes them feel better. It sends off the endorphins. It sends off the dopamine in your system, and it makes you feel better. The difference, I think, and let me step back a minute. And in doing so, emotionally, when people lose grip and they don't know which direction to go, or they are so beaten down or smitten that they don't care, they tend to eat themselves to death. Because why? We are so food based now. We don't have to work for our food anymore. We don't have to grow our food anymore. We are so food driven because we have the whole world at our fingertips. Here in the United States, we have so many immigrants that bring their uh, their food to us. It's we can taste in my city alone. We've got the whole Mexico thing going. We've got the Salvadorian thing going. We've got, Central America going. We've got Japanese, Chinese, Korean food here. And it's not Americans. It's people from those cultures that are making it. They're Americans, but I mean they're actually from those cultures. They're close in the bloodline. They're not mixed as much as like I am. My family were immigrants, but I'm a mixture. I mean, I have. I mean, I did the DNA testing and I got everything. I've got Viking blood in me. I've got everything. So, um, but so people tend to, and that's where you find people, 300 and 400 pounds, 600 pounds, 1,000 pounds, is they just kind of lose themselves. And that's what's happened to me this last couple years. I know for a fact when I've chosen to go out to eat, in the back of my mind, I've honestly said, I don't care. When I was eating that gelato, it gave me more of a dopamine, uh, relaxed me and released my endorphin and my dopamine that I craved it every weekend when I knew I had that time to myself. And that's what I put in my lap. But there is, I think, a difference with the way our bodies handle food. For example, when I use the fried chicken and gravy, mashed potatoes and gravy analogy. Your body, after you eat that, your body doesn't crave it. Your mind might crave it, but your body doesn't. To where drugs, alcohol, sugar, there might be some others I don't know about, but all those the body craves. Not only mentally are you set to do that, but the body craves you. The body gets the cravings out there for you to partake in that. And so processed sugar for me is really bad. I've looked back in my history, and I never had a weight issue. Uh, I got a little heavy after I had one of the surgeries years ago, and that was just because my hormones were off. And then when I entered the Department of Corrections, uh, the cortisol levels went up, and I got a little heavy there. But I've never been like I've been the last 10 years since my injury. And my injury just kind of kick-started that with all the medications, and I've talked about that. So now let's talk about how I'm going to handle my situation. I've already done my intro, and I'm a sugarholic. That's what I was going to tell you. A couple times in my life when I was hurt really bad, um, I noticed, I think back and now I see that I ate a lot of sugar. I ate a lot of ice cream, candy, uh, desserts, and I would put on weight just like that. But I never really needed it that long. I got myself through it. I bounced out of it, and my weight went back to the way it is, and that's what I call a set point. And the last 10 years I've struggled with my weight, but it hasn't been because of emotional stress. It's just because I'm injured and I'm stationary. And so not only was I that in the beginning of these 23 months or so, whatever it was, uh, then I get hit with this. And I can only tell you that I felt like a robot, that I couldn't think deep. And I talk about it on the videos, and I was okay, but there was just a piece of me that was dormant, and I finally got snapped out of that when I saw that picture, and so I've slowly done the shift. Um, my mind has already said, if you want to destroy your body, go ahead and continue to do what you've been doing, but I don't want to be that person. I want to be who I am, and I want to flourish, and I want to shine, because I want to be an example, and I want to be a light that draws people for comfort. I want to be, not that I'm some smart person or anything, but I want people to feel peace when they're around me. I want them to feel what I feel inside. And I know I kind of lost that for a while, because my brain was like a ping pong table, honestly, and that's the only way I can explain it to give you guys a picture of how I was. But I've slowly turned it around, and what I've done for myself is I still ate my salads, but I didn't eat them every day, and so when I'd skip a meal, I'd grab sweets. And so I quit skipping meals, number one. When I'm hungry, I stop and I eat. If I'm in class and I get hungry, I have a protein bar in my pocket. And I buy good protein bars. In fact, they're these things. Those are the only ingredients in these protein bars. This is blueberry. There's coconut. There's sea salt chocolate. All these that I'm saying is what we eat. And the strawberry. I didn't care for the peanut butter. And my niece didn't care for the chocolate mint, which I wouldn't buy chocolate mint anyway. So four of the flavors we really like, and we buy them by the case. So They're always on hand, and they're all natural, and they're close to. There's no preservatives or anything in them, so what you see is what you get. And so I'll eat it, and that ties me over until lunchtime. I have started back in eating my salads, and again, my salads consist of everything I like. My salads consist, I eat a big bowl of salad. And the reason why I don't worry about how much I eat is because they're all vegetables. And that is a dopamine rush. Uh, depending on what kind of dressing I desire, one day could be blue cheese, the next I buy this pear balsamic that I found that I really liked. Um, yeah, and I put seeds, raw seeds on them, and nuts if I want to, and I put frozen blueberries, which is a treat. Yeah, and if I've got feta cheese or blue cheese, I'll throw some of that on top. Um, but that's the shift I'm making. I'm making it to where when I'm hungry, I choose to eat things that are healthy for me. Now, that doesn't say I'm not going to go out to lunch. That doesn't say I'm not going to take Tony out to dinner. It doesn't say that one day we're shopping and I see something that I want that I don't get. Now, I won't buy ice cream, and I won't buy. I have stepped back from the flour because of the migraines, and I was starting to get a few migraines, and I hadn't done that in 4 years. So I know for a fact that the flour gives me migraines. Um, I have a lot of environmental allergies that also causes headaches, but I don't get migraines. But anyway, so yeah, that's the shift I'm making. I'm channeling my energy slowly out through doing the things I want to do. Tony and I only have 4 more classes, and then we're done for the summer. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to the class in the fall. I really have to decide by then, where I am physically and emotionally. The school does take a lot of toll on me because uh, things have changed for me mentally since I've been off work and under the medications I'm under. So, but I'm doing okay this one. I'm actually doing it, getting an A, and I feel like I have it close. I feel like I have it better than I have in a while. So anyway, you know, it, I think the thing is that I can't stress enough is that you're not alone. Recognize what you're doing to yourself. Don't blame anybody else. If things are uncontrolled in your life, then understand they're uncontrolled and try to channel your energy somewhere else. As long as you continue to blame people for things that you are not or things you don't have, you're never ever going to have anything. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to take accountability, just like I am. This 25 pounds of weight is my fault. It's not my stepdad's fault. Sure, he was a pill, but that's how I took the stress of the situation. And I allowed myself to go into that depression. And so I'm accountable for that. And I'm not blaming, you've never heard me blame him. I tell you what I went through. But when it comes down to it, I'm the one who controls what I put in my mouth. I'm the one who controls how I think. I'm the one who controls how I react. I'm the one who controls how I talk. So it all boils down to me. And that's why I did these videos. I wanted to make myself accountable. And I also wanted to say it out loud. Because when we bring it to the table and we put it out there, our focus becomes even brighter and clearer of what we've done to ourselves and what we need to do to ourselves. So just remember, all you out there that are listening to me that have had similar situations in your life, and you found yourself out of shape, heavier or too skinny. Just take it one day at a time and make one change at a time. Like I said on my video, I said add food, add a salad. The only thing that is going to be calories is what you put in it. But still, I don't really care how much blue cheese dressing I put on it. Because for now, I'm eating nutrition. I'm eating my vegetables. So any of you, and you say you don't like salad, well, pick something you like that's live food. Fruit. Um, any vegetables that you like, maybe steamed. Have a big bowl of them. But I just want you guys to know you're not alone. And I will be held accountable here. I will be checking in. This is basically like going to be a diary for me, and let you guys know how each week or every other week, whatever it ends up being, how I'm doing, how emotional, where I am emotionally, and stuff like that. And don't expect big changes in me all of a sudden, because it's a slow process. And as long as you lose it slowly, you can keep it off. But I don't want to lose muscle mass. And, I just want to get my body to burn in the fat, the stored fat. So I got to make a shift. So anyway, guys, this is for you, but this is about me holding myself accountable. Take it one day at a time. Always make your journey as simple as possible. We'll talk at you later.